Hey everybody, how we doing today? So I forgot my main camera. Yay! So I'm filming this on my Hero 4 Silver with the touchscreen back. So I get some decent audio, but not like my headset one. But oh well. Today we are out on the reef. I made the long run to my Yellowtail snapper spot, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some chumming. I brought my Yellowtail drift jigs, and that's primarily what today was supposed to be about. I was gonna do promo videos for those jig heads, but no camera. So we're just gonna have a fun fishing day. Bend a rod. I've just brought the 2 light tackle rods. So we'll play with those and see what we can catch. So the food we have on the menu today is, I've got my chum block. It's kind of half used from yesterday, but I'm gonna put this out, and I've got another fresh block in the back. I had a little bit of shrimp left that I took out to the flats yesterday, so I've got those. I can use as chunk bait. Got a squid roll just in case ballyhoo show up, or I could use this as bait as well. And then I brought frozen ballyhoo that I caught in the backcountry a few months ago, so just in case no bait shows up. So I've got stuff that I could use right away. So that's what's on the menu. Well, the setup I'm going to be using is the medium esky rod, 7 foot, with the Cabo 4000 series. I've got 20-pound braid on it, which is good for what I want to do with testing for the rods with the bigger fish and stuff like this. But for the Yellowtail, I want to probably pick up another 40 so I could have or do a separate spool, so I could usually run my 12 or 15-pound Andes pink mono. But since I've got 20-pound braid, I've got 20-pound leader, I'm going to add a long length of 12-pound Berkeley fluorocarbon, 100% fluorocarbon, and do about 15 feet of that. Just add it to the 20-pound leader that I've got, and then that'll be my Yellowtail rig for today. 20-pound is a bit overkill. They're very line shy, depending on the conditions, but I'd rather start lighter, and then if I get bigger fish, if I'm breaking off, then I can just cut that off, leave the 20 and drift that back. So that's the rig I'm setting up. Okay, I've got all the lines set up. Chum's been going out for 5 minutes or so. Now it's time to figure out which one of the Yellowtail snapper drift jigs to use. So I've got 3 sizes, 1/32, 1/16, and 1/8. Now one of the things that I do is, once I've got set like this and I want to figure out, one, I can start watching the chum. As it's slowly dissipating out, I can kind of see how it's running. The other way to do it is I just take a little bit of chunk bait. This is a part of that ballyhoo. Just drop it in, and I could see just by that drift that there's not a lot of current. Okay, so that'll help determine which one of these drift jigs that I want to use. Realistically, I probably can get away with like the 1/32, and that would be really match the chum as it's going out. Especially I'm going to be casting away from my kayak down a bit, so that chum is already going to be down a little bit. So using that, probably I think I'll use the 1/16, and that should match that chum drift as it goes back farther away. I tend to like to want to get somewhere from the chum down below it, because that tends to be where the bigger ones are. And then if I'm just targeting kind of more bottom fish, grouper, muttons, mangroves, and stuff like that, in a day like this, I would put the 8th, because that's almost going to start singing it down pretty quickly. The other factor is I'm actually not in very deep water. I'm only in 40 foot of water. I'm on top of a peak. So 40 foot, it'll drift down with not a lot of current pretty quickly, so that 1/16 should be about right. If I want to get that bait right to the bottom really quickly, I can use that 1/8, and I'll be towards the bottom, not too far away. So, but we can just play with it a little bit. Tying these jigs, you don't need anything fancy. You don't need to, it's not like a lure where you need action, so you don't want to use a loop knot. Because it's quick and easy and just pretty fail-proof, I use a Palomar. that's it. Ready to go, cut that tag, and then we're all set. And that's the 1/16 ounce. Now I'm just going to use a plug, basically just a chunk of ballyhoo. Same thing. You don't need overly big. Sometimes I'll drift a big one if I want to kind of evade the little small ones, but for now I'm just going to test it out with a nice little 1-inch chunk there. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. The biggest thing is that you want that hook exposed, so you get a good hook set like that. If they're really finicky, like a super flat, calm day, super clear, you might bury the hook more, but now with the chum, part of that process is not only to attract them, but to get them feeding, so they're not worried about it. I've been letting them feed back there for 10 minutes now, and I haven't run a bait back, so they probably a little bit more confident, put their guard down. Then they become more aggressive because more fish come. They have to be faster to get that food that's coming by before another fish eats it. So that's what we're going to be drifting. I'm just going to flick it out there. And the key is, just as that you saw that piece of bait kind of floating along, that's what you're trying to match the hatch with. So what I'm doing is I'm just feeding that line so there's no drag, okay? So anytime that line gets tense, that means that bait is going to stop. Oh, and it's running, close the bail, and reel. And just like that, we're on. Give it a couple of yanks just to make sure its hook is set. And we've got our yellowtail snapper. And there we go. See how colorful those fish are. They actually match the chartreuse. Now as a test, I'm just dropping over the side to see. And that thing is just dropping really quickly. So I actually should probably move to the 1/32 because it's at an angle like this, where the chum is running at an angle like that. With this bait, it's going at a weird angle. I'm not matching the hatch, but that's why having the 3 different sizes allows me that variability. So I'll probably switch over to a 1/32 now. But this gets me toward the bottom where there might be something bigger, so we'll let it run. Okay, it's running. Just reel. And there we go. Okay, I've switched to the 1/32, and if I just throw that out, yeah, see, it's staying towards the top, and it's a lot. Oh crap! Something grabbed it already. Oh, what is this? I don't think that's a yellowtail. Fast mover. Ah, blue runner. Man. Nice blue runner. Ah, spit in my mouth. So, there you go. There we go. There's something a little better. I want to get you on this side though. There we go, that's a little bit nicer. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So that was on the 1/32. There we go. That's a nice beauty there. 16 inches, so nice 16-incher. The thing with that is it means that there's, I'll try another one, but that means the bigger ones are moving in, which is a good sign, so let's try another one. All right, there we go. Another nice yellowtail here. Oh! Well, it looks like they're the sizes are schooling up, so that's good. Okay, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to head in. That's a fun day of fishing on the reef using the Yellowtail snapper drip jigs. Pretty basic. Put your quality time finding a good spot. Get yours anchored up in the right position so that chum is full in the right area, and you're done. You'll fill up a cooler, catch a ton of fish. Very basic. Use those different weights to get you into the different strike zones, and a bunch of fun fishing. So it's a great way, especially down here in the Keys, if you really want to bend a rod, kids, new fishermen, want a bunch of meat to eat, Yellowtail snapper fishing. So anyways, I'm gonna head in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.